So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. We are also a public service watch announcement channel. And what that means by me saying that we are a public service watch announcement channel is that we bring you knowledge and truth in what's happening out there. And I'm just going to start by telling you, ladies and gentlemen, so you can get it through your head. The watch market is dead. Just to let you know. Just to let you know quickly so you can get it through your head, the watch market is dead. All right. I want you guys to realize where we are at. And we are in dire straits. La industria de relojes está muerto. Every watch brand is upside down, ladies and gentlemen. Just to let you know, every single watch brand besides, the king of watches, besides Cartier, besides AP, besides Patek Philippe. Some people want to say Richard Mille, Richard Mille, and Omega, the rest para Jackson. You know what Jackson is? Jackson Memorial Hospital, entubado. Dead. Just to let you know, this is just quickly to let you know what's happening out there. I told you the watches, they're holding on, they're, hanging out. And the one that's giving a little hard time right now to Rolex is no other than, get it through your head, ladies and gentlemen, get these two letters in your head. It's AP. They came out blazing. They came out like that guy, like Bugs Bunny, like Bugs Bunny over there, in the big football game, they came out blazing, so just to let you know what's happening. The rest is basura, garbage, just to let you know. I don't want to offend nobody. When I mean garbage, I mean, it's 10 cents to the dollar. I'm going to be kind. 10, 20 cents to the dollar. Just to let you know. We also have a private watch group in this channel. It's under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. On that book face, you look for my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. You go for about. You'll find their Opus and Time watches. And maybe you'll get lucky if Sweet Kikino and Samantha will let you in. This is Sweet Kid Kino's channel. This is not my channel. Everything that I say in this channel is allegedly. Everything. Me voy a tomarme porque se me sale un seno, se me sale el seno, la uva, my chest will come out, and you guys will get, se vuelve loco, So I'm just letting you know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. We already got 21 recovering tomato cans in this show. That's a lot of people. 5 or 6 can leave right now. You can leave. This is not for you guys. We come here to drop knowledge only. All right, guys? I want to start by telling you something, ladies and gentlemen, that we always talk about. We talk about precious metal. So let's just get it out of the way. Precious metal. I want you to know that the platinum today, the troy ounce is at $2,051 a troy ounce. Palladium is at $1,768 a troy ounce. Rhodium is at $10,750 a troy ounce. Gold is at $5,030 a troy ounce. And silver is at $77 a troy ounce, all right? Just to let you guys know what's happening with precious metals, ladies and gentlemen. I told you already, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you things, you guys might be thinking that I am, foolishly, being silly with you guys, but I'm not. I told you that if you are going to buy any other watches besides the ones that I talked to you about, the Rolexes, the APs, the Pateks, the Richard Mille, the Omega, I don't know what else I'm missing. I don't know what else, Patek, Cartier. Anything else, besides that, you pay for those watches between 10 cents and 20 cents to the dollar. Whatever it is, JOC, Tag Heuer, Bulova, Seiko, Grand Seiko, Zenith. You know what I'm trying to say. IWC. ¿Tú me entiendes? Hublet. You pay that. Eso es lo que hay, papá. You guys don't. When I say it before anybody. Porque tengo gandinga. Tengo gandinga. ¿Sabes lo que es gandinga? Yo tengo gandina, papá. Bacherón Constantin, correcto, papá. Thank you for helping me out. Anybody, put names out there that you want. Put names that you want. You put it there, I say you're right. 10 cents to 20 cents to the dollar. But ladies and gentlemen, you know, Sweet Kid Kino is a man of integrity, a man of vision, you know? Él es como el tipo ese, Steve Jobs, you know? Kino's like Steve Jobs. He's a visionary, you know? He sees things everywhere. You know, es increíble. Ese Sweet Kid Kino se la sabe toda, papá. Se la sabe toda. And I told you guys about that. And you know, some of you, find it silly. Unto the guy, listen to me and learn. Listen to me and learn. A small figured man, small, 5 feet, 6 inches. 5 feet, 5 inches, ladies and gentlemen. From over there, ladies and gentlemen, all the way back there, ladies and gentlemen, you know? Lean back. They're not like us. Give it away. Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know? All the way up. I'm telling you everything, ladies and gentlemen. That guy, 5 feet, 5 inches. Small man, you know, from over there. The Iron Sheik Tunic Man. The Iron Sheik Tunic Man, ladies and gentlemen. The Iron Sheik Tunic Man. You know, I'm not going to continue this, ladies and gentlemen. Too many people are watching the show and not enough thumbs up. This is the only thing I ask for you guys because you give away everything today. Give it away like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You give it away. But to me and Sweet Kid Kino, we get this deep. But we don't care because we're stupid like that. We want to help you out. The guy from over there from Dubai, from Dubai over there. From Dubai, ladies and gentlemen, he came clean. He heard my voice. He came clean. He says, I gotta say it, because that Puerto Rican already said it, and I gotta say it. And he says, he opens a real big Samsonite suitcase, and he has there like 400 watches. And ladies and gentlemen, he tells all of you lambones and palomos, he tells all of you that he has all these watches. He has a tourbillon that costs $200,000. And did he pay for it? 10 cents to 20 cents to the dollar, ladies and gentlemen. 10 cents to 20 cents to the dollar. And he sells it to you guys. A tourbillon, unbelievable, $200,000 MSRP. He sells it to you guys for $28,000. And he's still flim-flamming you. Imagine that. He's still flim-flamming you. I want to give it to you because, this guy is buying closeouts, overproduction watches, they have made from every single watch brand. You put it up there, IWC, Vacheron Constantin, Hublot, Zenith, you understand me? Brigade. You know what I'm trying to say? Help me out, guys. Come on, get involved. Get involved in the show. This is your show. Get involved. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you what it is, I'm telling you what it is. These people are a bunch of hoodwinkers and hucksters. That they have to say what I say to get you going, to get you taken. Because when I say it, it's not for real. But when the guy with the tunic, and the white hat with the black string, allegedly, everything I'm saying, and let me salute him before they get mad at me. Let me salute him. Alex, let me salute him, Alex. Saludos to you, Alex. And now we're going to salute the owl, at the Bohemian Grove over there in July, at the Bohemian Grove over there in California. Let's salute him and let's give him the wings. Unbelievable. Kino, suéltame. Suéltame, Kino. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable what I do for you guys for free. Let me drink a little bit of Don Julio, a little bit of Don Julio. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know? You know what it is. You know what that is right there? You know what that is. You don't know about that kind of stuff. You don't know about that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you more for free today. For free. Don Julio, the best. Este está bueno, Kino. Yo no voy a hablar de los dientes de él. Yo no voy a hablar de los dientes pudridos de él. I'm not going to talk about his rotten teeth. I'm not going to talk about, he wants me to talk about rotten teeth. Not today. I can't talk about rotten teeth. Yuck! Yuck! You know, unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. What I have for you is an unbelievable show, ladies and gentlemen. So the guy, I won't do that, papi. I won't. Tú eres uno de los míos, papi. The guy over there, from over there, from Dubai, the small little man. He hangs out with the other guy, Harry Potter. Harry Potter, the English Harry Potter. He went over there from the UK to work with him over there. They're saying 10 cents to 20 cents to the dollar on those watches, except the ones that I told you. Rolex to Richard Mille, Omega, Cartier, AP, and Patek. The rest, 10 cents to 20 cents. I know, that's it. That's his pet. He's like a lap dog, and his pet, Pero que tú estás muy alto, Kino. Kino put this thing too high for me. I don't know. It's crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, what I got to tell you today is going to blow your hair back and knock your socks off, ladies and gentlemen. Because it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm letting you know 10 cents to 20 cents on the dollar. Just to let you know. And everybody is doing something that we have invented in this channel. And you must promote it. Wherever you go, whatever channel you like to go and snoop around and look at their videos, you do what you got to do. But if you go there, you put there. Everyone is doing the no spend money challenge of 2026. Like the ice bucket challenge that we had 15 years ago. We have in this channel the no spend money challenge of 2026. No more pigs this Christmas. No more pigs. I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I feel today like, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys had a fantastic, weekend. Happy, como enamorado, el corazón. Happy Valentine, people. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I had a beautiful one. My beloved wife took me to a beautiful hotel, which is called the Breakers. The Breakers Hotel over there in West Palm Beach. And she bought me many gifts, she took me to the hotel. She bought me many gifts with my own money. Unbelievable, but you, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. My wife took me to get a massage, to get a massage over there at the Breakers Hotel in West Palm Beach. Then we had dinner at the Flagler Steakhouse. You know about that Flagler Steakhouse? They took me there too. I mean, they took me everywhere. You're not going to believe this, Alex. You're not going to believe this, Thurston. You're not going to believe this, Grande. You're not going to believe this, 30 West. You're not going to believe me, 30 West, Mike. They took me over there. And my wife spent all this money, getting me, she was even giving me a wax. She was waxing my sinus congestion and everything, But everything she was paying it with my own money, Yo soy un lambón, I'm telling you the truth, Even me, I'm I said, I looked at the bill and I said, we should have stayed in our house. What is this? Unbelievable. Just to let you know what happened to me this weekend. I had a fantastic weekend, but my wife, she me dejó mal, me desbarató. Just to let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something because you people are very smart. You guys are international. You people are international. Happy wife, happy life. Mr. Blair's here. Unbelievable. I have 4 baby mamas. Grande. I am a lollipop sucker. No spend money challenge of 2026. But ladies and gentlemen, I was born. I was born August 22nd, 1962 in the Bronx Lebanon Hospital. One of my viewers told me that that hospital doesn't exist no more. You know, I got fleas. Yeah. And a beautiful summer day, my mother told me when she was alive, she told me it was a beautiful summer day. I was born in that hospital, you know. There's nothing, you know, to add to my wife. So, New York to me is a special place, ladies and gentlemen. It really is, you know. But ladies and gentlemen, things have changed so much that I wish that my father would be around to see what's happening, you know, in our beloved city of New York City. We are originally we're not from the Hamptons, we're not from Brooklyn, we're not from Queens, you know, we're not from Staten Island, you know what I'm saying? We're not from Long Island, whatever you want to call it, you know, we're from the Bronx. You know, we're from the Bronx, and we left there because there was a lot of things happening back in the 70s. But ladies and gentlemen, enough of my story. I want you to know there's a gentleman that they call Sohran Salami. You know, Sohran Salami. He's over there in New York City. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this, what's happening in the city that, you know, I was born, you're not going to believe me, you know. Thank you very much, Nelson. Gracias, papá. You're not going to believe this, you know. I saw something today that was very disturbing from the city that I was born. I want you to know something. My father was a very, very hard worker. He was the only one, the only provider, and he drove around a cab, you know, a cab that he got a from the First Union Bank in the Bronx. He got like a loan so you can buy the medallion, you know, the medallion, el medallón. And so he had his cab. It was like a checker, you know, checker. It was like a big, ugly-looking car, you know. And with that, he made a living and to provide for me, my sister, and my mother. And we never knew what welfare was in our house. None of that handout bullshit. It was strictly working, you know. But enough of that. So we got this guy, you know, Sohran Salami. You know, he's a 30-year-old kid, you know, the old checker caps, exactly. Eso correcto, Nelson. So they got this guy over there, you know, the one I'm talking about. You know, the one I'm talking about, Sohran Salami. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this, because in this channel, we don't play around. We show you things, you know. We don't, none of this BS of, you know, talking. No. Let's show these people. Let's show these 28 organic Watch Channel subscribers what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first, unbelievable. Yo estoy asustado, man, you know. I mean, you know, the first New York City grocery store. And there were lines, a grocery store, lines and lines and lines of people in line to get free food. Free food, something that you can think about getting food stamps. Remember the food stamps that used to be like dollar bills? You know what I'm saying? Today they give you like a credit card, but back in my time, I remember Tommy's mom used to go to Food Spot and A&P and Pathmark, and she had like the dollar bills, but it was welfare. I don't know what it was. Nothing wrong with that. You know, she needed the help. She got the help. But today, ladies and gentlemen, they have a store. They got a store opening over there, you know, in Manhattan. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you because you guys have a very busy. It's food stamp dollars. Thank you very much. You know what I mean. You know, food stamp dollars with George Washington, Lincoln, you know. Unbelievable, those people, you know, and the government. But ladies and gentlemen, when I show you this, I'm going to show you how New York is looking. And I'm going to say this to you because you guys need to know about this. Let socialism begin. How's that? Let socialism begin. And I'm going to show you this because this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is crazy. do it one more time. You know, I see that, and I'm telling you one more time, I'm going to come out of character. One thing is getting help, from the state, from the city, getting help, some kind of, help from the city, whether it's welfare, whether it's food stamps. That's one thing. But guys, they're putting the first grocery store so you can go pick up your goods, pack them up. Eso es como el comunismo de Cuba. Like in Cuba, like Nicaragua. All these communist or socialism countries, Venezuela, all that. La libreta. You get a little pad, and the pad tells you how many items you can take. You know what I'm saying? I mean, es una cosa de loco. Una cosa that do you guys believe what you just saw, or you guys don't believe it? No, esta gente no lo creyeron. Aquí no, esta gente, yo no voy a hablar de los dientes pudridos del tipo de Eugene. Eugene tiene los dientes pudridos. Olvídate de eso, el tipo asqueroso, que le da un beso a la boca a ese hombre, se muere. Se muere la mujer. No comas mierda aquí, no. No comas mierda. Let me explain to you this one more time, because I think... Start spreading the news, ladies and gentlemen. And let's, unbelievable. Let socialism begin, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I say that, yes, if people are needing, if they have hungry children and all that good stuff, by all means, help them out, But opening stores, that is something crazy, ladies and gentlemen. But if you think that's crazy, what I show you right now from that gentleman, if you think it's crazy, because we're not just going to talk about watches here always. We're going to talk about different things so you understand, where we're going, because we're getting fleeced. We're being sacrificed like the people that got on the Titanic, like those three richest men of 1912. They got sacrificed, and they sacrificed the whole boat to get those three people. You understand what I'm saying? They're sacrificing us. So those people over there in the Bronx and Brooklyn, New York, Long Island, Queens, Staten Island can go shopping in the grocery store. But this one that I'm going to tell you is gonna just say, man, what they're doing to New York is no tiene palabra. It doesn't have words. I can't even give you the words. I can't even give you the words. When I show you this, you're gonna go, no, man, this is not for real, papi. This is 1,000% for real. Like when I told you don't pay more than 10 cents to 20 cents to the dollar on watches, what I'm telling you is for real. And again, we're talking about my beloved New York City, where I was born at, ladies and gentlemen. What they're doing to New York, if you see what they're doing to New York right now, you're not going to believe this. You're going to go, Papa, Juan Felipe Nieves from Opus and Time, he showed us this today. And it bugged me out. This is going to bug you out. If you thought the grocery store bugged you out, hold on. You know what tent cities are? Tent. Tent cities, when there's a nuclear bomb or an outbreak, an outbreak or something, there's people don't have no housing. They do a tent city, A tent city for people that need to sleep, somewhere to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, they have tents, over there in the city, Manhattan, the Upper East Side, the Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, Long Island. You know what I'm trying to say? They got tents. And you might be thinking, but what kind of tents? You're not gonna believe this, ladies and gentlemen. You know that I told you about. We haven't talked about this for a long time about that. Fentanyl. That drug fentanyl. The people walk around and they're almost touching the sidewalk. Their head, but they don't touch it. They're like this for hours, but they don't touch the floor. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't touch the floor. They don't touch the floor, so they got fentanyl, they got crack pipes, they got injections. I'm only doing the way I see it in TV. And people like this in the Bronx where I'm from, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, we're all being sacrificed. We are being sacrificed from that guy over there, from Sohran Salami. Sohran Salami. Ladies and gentlemen, you imagine having a tent, and in that tent, outside the tent, there is a menu. Like when you're gonna go to Boston Chicken or Kentucky Fried Chicken or Crane's Chicken or Chick-fil-A, they have a menu. A menu, ladies and gentlemen. Everything I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is allegedly. Ladies and gentlemen, salute the owl. Put an owl. Show an owl. Show an owl out there, ladies and gentlemen. Show an owl. You need to show an owl, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm telling you. They're going to throw a thunder lightning and the show is going to finish and I'm not going to come back no more. No more pigs this Christmas. No more pigs. Show the owl, ladies and gentlemen. Respect the owl, ladies and gentlemen. We're in trouble. They're attacking us, ladies and gentlemen. I can feel the thunder lightning hit me already. I'm dropping too much knowledge for free, ladies and gentlemen. They can't believe this. We have 35, recovering tomato cans watching this show, and I promise you 15 are spooking. I know what I'm saying. They're spooking right now. This is the #1 watch market update show in the world. Lean back, all the way up. Lean back. They're not like us. Give it away, like the red hot chili peppers. I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. So you have tents, ladies and gentlemen, tents with menus outside. If you want a crack pipe, if you want a needle, if you want medical marijuana, if whatever drug you want, they have a menu. And ladies and gentlemen, they're making these tents that even have windows. But you guys don't believe me. Look at this, 38 Organic Watch channel subscribers. Unbelievable. Insane. Like Crazy Eddie. Insane, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe this. Enough of talking. Enough of this. Let me just show you this. Because you're going to go, this Juan Nieves, he's unbelievable. How does Juan Nieves do this? I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to show you.
Fentanyl.
I'm going to show you. Listen to this. You're going to be blown away. Your hair's going to blow back and your socks are going to blow away. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, what happened there? Hey, what happened here?
And crack pipes for sale in Sohran Mamdani's, New York City.
That's the menu. Look at the menu.
Look, encampments allowed.
Look at the camps.
They're drug
the
dealers.
Tents. This is crazy. Only I can do this. Look, she wants to buy an ounce of reefer through the window. Look at the window. Look at the guy's face. You're not going to believe this.
Democrat socialist.
Look at his face. Did you see that, ladies and gentlemen? We got to do it again, ladies and gentlemen. This is too much.
Fentanyl and crack pipes for sale in Sohran Mamdani's, New York City.
Yeah, say something down. Look at the menu.
Look, encampments allowed, so they're drug dealers.
Look at that.
All tolerance,
Look at this.
That's the name of the game.
The only channel that brings you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. They're sacrificing us.
Wake up.
Look at the window. Look at the window.
Suck.
Look at his face. Mr. Thurston Howard III, thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel like somebody, cares about this channel and doesn't want this channel to disappear. Thank you very much. But I'm very sad about what's happening in the Bronx, what's happening in Brooklyn, what's happening in Manhattan, what's happening in Staten Island, what's happening, all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Blair, thank you very much for cooperating as always. All of you do, ladies and gentlemen. Just by being here, you guys are cooperating. That's good enough, ladies and gentlemen. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. But I'm very, very saddened what's happening out there in all those boroughs that I'm from. This is crazy. We're gonna put this one more time. Let me give you guys a sweetheart. Because you guys are, this is your channel, and we need to protect this channel. Because this is how this works, ladies and gentlemen. I think I got a thunder lightning in my channel. I'm telling you, I think I got a thunder lightning. They're mad. They're mad because I'm not supposed to be doing that. They're mad. They're mad at me. Can you guys hear me? They're throwing bombs at me. They're throwing grenades. They're throwing grenades, ladies and gentlemen. They're throwing grenades at us. Ladies and gentlemen, they're throwing grenades at us. I don't know what's going on. Oh, my God, they throw grenades at us. Oh, my God. This is getting scary, ladies and gentlemen. They're throwing grenades at us. I'm telling you, they're throwing grenades. I don't know what to do no more. This is awful. This is awful. Please bear with me for a second. We're going to go back again. Thurston is here too. Unbelievable. This Thurston Howell, man, they keep on throwing bombs at us. They're throwing bombs at me, guys. I know what I'm telling you. This is incredible. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, fellas. But this is crazy. Oh, man. I don't know what to say. Ladies and gentlemen, let me salute the owl. With one hand now. Maybe they'll leave us alone, But ladies and gentlemen, it's very sad to see that they have tents. Before there were tents for people that they were without a home and they had to sleep somewhere. Now over there in New York, you have tents that they're selling you fentanyl. They're selling you, thank you very much, Zoe. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so much. I mean, all of you, thank you very, very much for all your help. I really, really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Maybe today I'm doing a real good show. I don't know what's going on, but thank you so much, guys. I say this from the bottom of my heart. I think that the world is upside down. I think that we're going through a situation that, we've been so blindfolded for so long that we don't even realize what's happening. This guy that they have there, over there in New York, over there in the Bronx, that guy, the mayor, whatever you call him, Sohran Salami, this is a 30-year-old kid. This is a kid. He used to hang out with the Jeffrey guy, Jeffrey guy and the mother and all that good stuff. This is all, papi, esto es una jodienda y tienen que tener cuidado. You gotta watch it because, la situación está jodida, I know what I'm trying to tell you. It's not a good thing. I'm going to show you this one more time because people are telling me, please show me that again. You don't believe me. You Google it. You Google it, ladies and gentlemen. What I bring in this channel is the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, these people, these watch dealers will give an eye, one of their eyes, to see me blind. Because what I teach you guys is unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, they say that we have single-handedly disrupted, dismantled, disrupted and dismantled and rattled the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market, channels and dealers, me and Sweet Kikino. No voy a hablar de Eugene de los dientes pudridos. No voy a hablar de Eugene de los dientes pudridos. No quiero hablar de eso. No quiero hablar de los dientes pudridos, Eugene. Eugene tiene un hediondo. Esa boca está pudrida. No. No te metas en esto, Kino. No te metas. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to let you know about that. I'm telling you what I'm trying to say, Thurston. You're a man of integrity, a man of vision. You know, you're like that guy. You're like that guy, the guy that passed away. What's his name? Steve Jobs. You know Steve Jobs? That guy. He was a visionary, you know? Or the girl used to dress in black too, but they took her to jail because she said that she could do a machine of blood. You know what I'm talking about? Blood, the girl. You know, she was dressed in black. I forgot her name too. Otra delincuente. She was going to sacrifice us too. But the elites didn't buy her trick, you know? But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you this one more time so we can go into something else. This is sad, man. Take a look see at this, you know? You know it. You know it, Papa.
Fentanyl and crack pipes for sale in Zohran Mamdani's, New York City.
Look at the menu. Look at the menu.
Warned you.
Whatever drugs you want.
Encampments allowed, so they're drug dealers. All tolerance, you know? That's the name of the game.
She wants a couple of crack bottles, you know? That girl right there. Look at it. The guy's through the window.
Wake up.
Wake up, people. Look at
Look
that guy's face. It's unbelievable. You know? If that guy would gone to, you know, over there to serve our country, he'll be a sniper. Unbelievable, these people. Unbelievable. I'm telling you what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. Papi, they're in the, you know, they're all getting greased up. You look that way, we're going to put bodegas. We're going to put bodegas, you know, in 2067 Harrison Avenue, Bronx, New York, next to Jerome Avenue and Burnside. We're going to put a couple of ones in Fordham Row, bodegas, University, High Bridge, you know, Roberto Clemente swimming pool, you know, Roberto Clemente, the baseball player. We're going to put him everywhere, all the grocery stores. And we're going to let all the bandidos put tents, you know, with menus or what drugs you want to use. Whether it's cocaine, whether it's marijuana, whether it's fentanyl. What's happening in New York is a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. I'm against all that. So if they're watching me and hearing me, I am against all that. I am not promoting that. I am not promoting none of that stuff. I better be quiet before they throw me a thunder lightning TV antenna y se jodió el show. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you something else. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a gentleman that he sent Sweet Kekino email and a text telling him that he wanted to thank us, you know, to thank us for opening up his eyes. And this man is a man that has over, for what I understand, you know, I don't know, I don't keep count, but for what I see, he's a man that must have like $45 million in watches, you know. And this man, I call him in a sweet way, Prince Ali. You know, Prince Ali, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. And Prince Ali was like what Johnny Carson had with Ed McMahon, you know. But Johnny Carson would show his face and Ed McMahon would sit besides him and laugh at every joke that, you know, Johnny would say. And this man has been for the last couple of months showing his face, showing all the watches he has, where he buys them from, what Patek boutiques he buys them from. Again, his name is Prince Ali, ladies and gentlemen. And he always comes out in that, you know, that channel with that guy that he's always making an auction and he's selling his watches, but he never shows you his face because his teeth are rotten. You know, they're yellow. They look like termite teeth. They look like little toddler baby teeth. You know, we're talking about no other than Eugene, a.k.a. Jacob McChicken, the SEC, shut you down. And today he's pushing these old dusty flea market, you know, watches and artwork that he gets. But that gentleman, Prince Ali, was showing his face and showing all his Richard Mille watches, Patek Philippe watches, and all that good stuff. And he says that he heard me saying that, don't worry about it. You keep on showing all those watches in this show. And that guy, Eugene, a.k.a. Jacob McChicken, is going to take you to court and say that all the watches you have there are his, because that's the kind of integrity man he is. You know, we're talking about Eugene, you know, the vagrant walker, walking around Las Vegas, you know, walking around, wandering around the streets, doesn't show his face. And ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't either. If you see his teeth, this guy needs to get some dental insurance the same way that the guy from 47th Street, Marcelito, did, with those horse teeth that he had. He needs to put him. This guy, Eugene, has to be grinding his teeth to the ground. So the guy told us thank you very much because he did a background check on him and he found out that this is what he does. He's in the penny stocks, stock market, and he was fleecing and flim-flamming people, and he realized what I said was true. So he hasn't gone back to his show no more, because no more pigs this Christmas. I think Prince Ali is somewhere from Saudi Arabia, Oman, I don't know, over there from the Babylon, somewhere over there. But he said that no more, thanks to us. They opened up his eyes. When he heard the description that I said, he said, that's me. When Prince Ali heard the description that I said, he said, he's talking about me. And that's right. So he came to, thank us for opening up his eyes, because Eugene likes to be in court every month. He's fighting over there in court because he wants to come back into the, the penny stocks, but they don't let him in no more. They don't let him in because he's disturbed. He's, wandering the streets like a vagrant walker, like a Buffalo Park Ranger. He only needs the hat, walking around. He's a very small, petite man. Nothing wrong with being small, but, but I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, la boca la tiene podrida. La boca, rotten. I mean, he grinds them. He must, I think he has so much, she's so bitter and salty about life that even this school gets it wrong at times too. We're talking about Harvard. He self-proclaims that he's from Harvard, but he's a washed-up bum, just to let you guys know, okay? And I want to take my time to tell Prince Ali, you're very welcome, for, be careful with your watch collection, because you don't know who you're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody that's very, very disturbed, and he's selling flea market, artwork, and he's selling flea market watches, all these watches that he has. Small little watches, 28 millimeter, 32 millimeter, small little watches, para hombre pequeño, bajito, with silky hands. Just to let you know what's going on, what's happening with these people out there. The guy told us that he was very grateful that we did that, that, we voiced it out, and, lo tiramos abajo la guagua. We don't care, because we don't frog around here in this channel. We're for real. We're not going to let none of you get flim-flammed and fleeced by that, esa gonorrhea, una gonorrhea, I'm telling you, man, those teeth look bad, man. His teeth look worse than Marcelito from 47th Street, They look worse than Marcelito. They look worse than the Ghost Train Jumper's mouth, I can imagine a woman kissing this man's mouth, una boca podrida, llena de caimanes, de mierda, mucha mierda. I'm just telling you what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys need to know about that, You're very welcome, sir, that you appreciate the hard work that we do in this channel. And if you want to come to our channel, you may do so, because let me tell you, he belonged to that guy. I'm telling you that, listen to me, people believe a lie faster than the truth. And Prince Ali believed everything he was telling him, the wet dreams he was telling him, Okay. We're going to give you a watch market update now. I don't want to talk no more. I'm going to give you a watch market update because you guys deserve that. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, everyone is doing the no spend money challenge of 2026. No sean pendejos ni lambones. No sean lambones. You understand me? Enough of that. You got fleeced for too long until we came along. We helped you out, guys. We helped you guys. Anyway, guys, we're going to give you a watch market. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the watch market? Are you ready? Yes or no? Or maybe you don't want it. You don't want it? No lo quieren. Aquí no lo quieren. Esta gente no quieren nada. Okay, Thursday. Exactly. Marriage will do that to you. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, our first watch is a Rolex Daytona Rose Gold, 40 millimeter, white dial. White dial, beautiful watch. Reference number 116505 from 2023. 2023, a beautiful rose gold, with a cream white dial. And I'm going to tell all of you ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You can continue believing, you can continue believing what these guys have been pushing on you guys. But don't pay for that watch. It's a beautiful watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $42,500. And that's one. That's one. No sean pendejo. Our next one, ladies and gentlemen, is another Rolex yellow gold. Rolex yellow gold Daytona 40 millimeter Oyster Flex. Oyster Flex, reference number 126518 from 2025 with a meteorite dial. Meteorite dials are out of style, ladies and gentlemen. Meteorite dials are out of style. No more pigs this Christmas. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that beautiful Rolex Daytona, yellow gold, Oyster Flex. Don't pay more. Listen to this. Mr. Thurston, I was saying 56. 56 is almost the retail price of that watch, Mr. Howard, Mr. Howell, Mr. Thurston, But I'm going to tell you the truth because I'm stupid like that. Don't pay for that watch and you do whatever you want. You want to throw one more guess? Let's see what you guys got for me. Go ahead. I need two numbers. Let's see what you guys have. I got Thurston already. Thurston said 56. Come on, let's go. This is the new reference. Okay, 60, 42. Wow. Guys, listen to me. You guys didn't understand me. This is the new reference number. This watch is what Thurston Howell said, like $56,000 is the retail price plus your taxes. Anyway, you guys are lost in a bottle, in a genie bottle. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $79,000. And this is a meteorite dial, yellow gold Oyster Flex, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's go. Let's be smart. Listen to this watch, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Rolex Platinum Day Date, 40 millimeter. Beautiful, beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. It's platinum, ladies and gentlemen. It's platinum, and it has a beautiful sky blue dial. Sky blue dial, beautiful. With a smooth bezel, platinum, ladies and gentlemen. This watch is from 2014 and 15 and 16. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, these people have it out there for 55, 52. They have those prices on these watches. $59,000, $60,000. You understand me? This is a beautiful watch. And I'm going to give you the reference number, the 228206, 40 millimeter. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you not to pay for this watch? Does anybody know? I just gave it. I'm going to give it again. It's give it away, give it away, give it away like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. 228206. Reference number for that watch is the 228206. $39,000. Okay? A couple of more. Christopher, since you asked the reference number, what price is this watch? Go ahead. What price is this watch? Nobody knows? Nobody knows. Okay. Man, I can't get this down. $55,000. And here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch because I'm stupid like that. And this is the #1 watch market update show in the world. Platinum. Platinum, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. This is a 2014, 15, and 16 year watch. Beautiful, beautiful blue dial. The band is very, very tight. It's a beautiful watch. But don't pay for that watch more than $48,500. And Dumping again. The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to buy something besides the watches that hold their value, you pay 10 cents to 20 cents to the dollar. No more than that. You pay exactly what the Iron Sheik tunic man pays. You pay the same thing. That's all. You pay the same thing. All those watches are dead in water. Dead in water. All those watches are dead in water, floating like this. Floating all the way down the Miami River. Floating all the way down. All the way down. The watch market is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful watch. This is a Vacheron Constantin Overseas chronograph, blue dial, 5500V. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful, beautiful watch, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, does anybody know what price I'm going to tell you not to pay for this beautiful rose gold chronograph, Vacheron Constantin Overseas? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful watch, ladies and gentlemen. Un relosazo, the 5500V. Does anybody know the price? Nobody knows? Nobody wants to guess? Well, here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay, and I mean don't pay not a dollar more. Don't pay a dollar more. The watch market is in critical condition like this. Dead. Dead. I'm telling you, dead. Christopher, remember, we're talking about a rose gold complete casing and bracelet. Blue dial, chronograph, the older reference number, because now you have the 5520 reference number. This is the 5500, you know, with a blue dial. Okay, now you're talking. Now you're talking. So anybody else want to give me a number? One more number? Christopher says $65,000. Nobody wants to say a number of this watch. This is I'm telling you, man, Vacheron Constantin is in trouble. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more. And dropping, ladies and gentlemen, and dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Don't pay for that watch more than $64,000 and dropping, okay? Dropping, okay? Dropping, okay? Watch market is dead. It's dead, ladies and gentlemen. It's dead. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an AP code 1159. Adamas Piquet code 1159. Rose Gold Perpetual Calendar. Unbelievable. Reference number 26394OR. You did real good, Papa. Very good, Christopher. Congratulations to you. I just want to, congratulations to you, Christopher. Congratulations. This is a beautiful watch. This is the Blue Aventurin dial. This watch has been dropping. This is a beautiful watch. This is a beautiful watch. Rose gold. It is a beautiful watch. And let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. It's growing on me. This AP, Adamas Piquet code 1159, is growing on me. Just to let you know. And I'm going to tell you because I'm stupid like that. I mean, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $48,000. I'm not even going to ask you for your help. Don't pay for that watch more than $48,700. And okay, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an AP Royal Oak. Listen to this one, ladies and gentlemen. AP Royal Oak. One of the hardest APs to get around. One of the hardest pieces to get around. This is rose gold, ladies and gentlemen. It has a green dial, a special green dial, even though these dials are dead. But, it's a hard watch to get. It's a hard watch to get. You got to be somebody special. They take you back there to the room, give you a little bit of Remy Martin, something to that, or a little Scotch, Macallan, They give it to you, and they wax your sinus congestion for free back there, and you get this watch. And this is a beautiful watch, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful, beautiful watch. When I tell you how many pieces of this watch they are producing, you're going to go, coño, esto está cabrón. These are 50 pieces. 50 pieces of this watch. And some people are asking 200,000, 180,000. You know what I'm saying? 72, 69. Does anybody know what that watch costs, ladies and gentlemen? Or what you should pay for that watch? This is the 15205. BA. B as in boy, A as in apple. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know too much about this, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a special edition green dial. You know, special edition, ladies and gentlemen. 50 pieces. You do whatever you want. The watch market is dead. There's nobody out there no more with no SBA loans, no more PPP loans, no more government grants, no more stimulus checks, no more unemployment checks, no more company protection checks to pay your employees, you know? There's no more of that. It's for real now, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that 15205. Coño, está bien, Christopher. You're looking, Christopher. You're a smart man, a man of vision. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. No more coin flips. No more Keith BMWs. None of that. You know, and you hear the guy, Deputy Boxing Black Eye, saying in one of his shows, my son is doing great. This is his third store he opened up. He's unbelievable. These people, unbelievable, you know? You know that? They're sacrificing you people out there. His third store of sneakers. The watch industry is dead. It's dead, ladies and gentlemen. The sneaker industry is dead. No hay dinero, papi. No more welfare, you know? No more rented, you know, Maybachs. Hold back. On back. Lean back. Lean back. Unbelievable. Don't pay for that 50 pieces limited edition 15205BA. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more than $138,000 and Papi, come on, Papi, come and get me now, Papi. Papi, come and get me now, Papi. I'm the master. I'm the master, ladies and gentlemen. No hay dinero, papi, no hay dinero. No coman mierda, no hay dinero. No hay dinero. No hay dinero, papi, no hay dinero. Kino, no hay dinero, no te metas más. No te metas, Kino. Esto no es para ti, esto es para grande, Kino. La situación en Nueva York con el Sohran Salami está acabando en el Bronx, en Queens, en todos lados. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'm telling you what it is, papi. Come and get me. Come on, send it to me. Papi, if you guys want to meet me and take pictures with me, I'm going to be in the Miami Beach Antique Show. I'm giving autographs and everything. Unbelievable. Stay back. Stay back. Alex said to stay back. Don't get involved in this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you another AP code 1159 stainless steel with a green dial and a green strap. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the reference number is the 15210 stainless steel from 2024. Gracias, Alex. 2024. Beautiful watch. I call this watch the G.I. Joe. When you guys were kids, did you play with the G.I. Joes? You know, the little G.I. Joe wax? G.I. Joe. One was in the floor. One had the bazooka. You know, the bazooka, you know, had the bazooka here, you know. Get him now. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? Not the G.I. Joe. I mean, the little ones, small little ones, you know. The guy on the floor, you know, he was on the floor. You know, that guy, I had that one too, and I had the guy with the bazooka. I used to like the guy with the bazooka. Incredible. I would throw rocks at him and everything. You guys didn't do that kind of stuff? I did that kind of stuff, papi. I had a good childhood, papa. I even had G.I. Joes that had the hisses, the heads missing, you know, limbs were missing, you know? But I enjoyed myself. Unbelievable. It's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. This is the AP code 1159 stainless steel. Stainless steel with a green dial strap. 15210 is a reference from 2024. The G.I. Joe. You know, I was trying to get one year. I swear to God. I don't know if you guys know this, but they had the G.I. Joe Jeep. You know, the real big Jeep. You know, the Jeep one? Man, I think it was made by Mattel. The code 1159, Christopher, is stainless steel. You know, the green strap and the green dial. Let me give you that price, and I'll talk to you about the Jeep. This watch, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful watch and has a retail price of $28,800. 41 millimeter. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. 17, the Kung Fu grip. Don't pay for the code 1159 more than $17,900. Anyway, so I wanted to get the Jeep. And I told you that my father was the only provider in the house. And back then, I think it was called Corvettes. They had a Corvettes department store in White Plains, New York. That's where we used to go over there to that store, you know? I mean, we never went to Macy's or Gimbals or, Neiman Marcus or Saks because, or it wasn't for us. We can go to Corvettes, it was like a Sears. And I tried to get the thing for my father, and it was like around $34 back then, in 1970, 71, 72. And my father told me no, and he gave me an explanation, and I respected it, He told me, Papi, I can't afford that. Can you believe that, Incredible, Believe it with my father, Told me, he told me in a sweet way, Papi, I can't. There you go, Corvette. You know what I'm talking about, Nelson. Nelson, you are for real from there. Because not everybody knows what I'm talking about, Corvette. And he told me that in a real sweet way. And, no, we never did no Saks Fifth Avenue or Neiman Marcus or Gimbals. We never did none of that stuff. But we did Corvette. We did Corvettes, and it was the department store we went to. But my father told me in a real sweet way. He told me in Spanish. He said, "Papito." Papito's like, my son. I can't give you this, this Jeep, you want from GI Joe because it's too expensive. Try to find something a little bit more economic. And I remember I settled for. Remember the air hockey? Remember the air hockey? It threw like air. It threw like air, and the little thing went around. The air hockey. I got that. It was like around $20. I was happy with that. Just to tell you a story of my father. Just beautiful people. Beautiful people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you about a watch here, which is unbelievable. This is the Patek Philippe Grand Complications. I want you to understand that the watch that I'm going to talk to you, and I know many of you are going to listen to this. You're going to go, Coño, this is a mammoth. This is colossal. This is for a whale. This is a big Moby Dick watch. One more time. A big Moby Dick watch. So you understand what I'm talking about. The watch that I'm going to talk to you about, the retail price, the MSRP. The MSRP is $381,000. We still haven't put the whatever taxes you come from. Let's say here in Miami, I think it's 7%, right? So let's just use Miami, 7% on top of that. So it's going to go to $400,000, that watch. $400,000. And ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about today about G.I. Joe. And I'm going to talk about, is another one too, There's another green dial with a green strap, leather strap. Green. It's an olive green strap, an olive green dial. It's beautiful, It's white gold. It's a split second. Papi, this is a beast. Split seconds, chronograph. Papi, you put this watch in your hands and you walk around, in the pier, wherever you're from, in La Playa de los Mojones, in City Island. You know what City Island is? You don't know about City Island. You don't know about that, and you don't know La Playa de los Mojones. You know what Mojones is? You Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. And you walk around with that watch around there. You go to Orchard Beach or you go to Jones Beach. You know what I'm saying? Or bajo los Siete Lagos allá, 7 lakes. Or I don't know, Rockland State Park. You walk around with that in your hand, they throw you the panties dirty. They throw you the panties dirty. La panty cagá. Te tira la panty cagá, te las tira when you wear that watch in your hand. This is the G.I. Joe, the real G.I. Joe watch. Grand complications, split seconds, chronograph, white gold, olive green dial. I mean, it even has the date, the 2 numbers, when they run there. The 1, the 2, you know what I'm saying? The 2. Unbelievable. You know what I'm saying, Alex? Jones Beach, for sure, right? You're walking around. Well, listen, to us people, we're from the Bronx. We took the bus. They went away. It went all the way from Burnside and Jerome Avenue all the way to Orchard Beach. Unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I have said this story many, many times. 1 year. 1 year. We're going to go back to the paddock, but you have to hear the story. 1 year, I argued so much with my mother and my father that I wanted the G.I. Joe scuba. You ever had the G.I. Joe scuba? It's unbelievable. He had the mask. He had the tank. He had the thing for the mouth, you know, and he has something you would push in the back of his back, and his legs will flap. And I went to Orchard Beach, ladies and gentlemen, and I was watching all those commercials the whole year, you know, coming out of PS 91 in the Bronx and getting home and watching that figure, the way he swam. And there was a little kid, you know, in the commercial that he would put him in his bathtub and he would really swim. So I took the G.I. Joe to Orchard Beach, and my father told me, Juan Felipe, you're going to lose that G.I. Joe and you're going to get a spanking. You're going to get a spanking if you lose that G.I. Joe. Nobody can hold me back. Nobody can hold me back, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm trying to say, Christopher. You know what I'm saying. It had a thing for the mouth, the goggles, it had everything, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, me and my sister Diane, that's my sister's name, Diane, just in case you want to know. I'm giving you a play-by-play. You know, she got me by my hand, and she took me here to the beach, Orchard Beach. Man, and I was dying to test my scuba G.I. Joe. I think he had like orange hair, and he had like a little beard, you know? He had like an orange beard, you know? You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, the story's coming to the end. I push back, you know, I lean back, and I push the string out of his back, and I put him in the water, and I let him go. Ladies and gentlemen, he went so far that I couldn't reach him. And they found him in Nassau, Bahamas. Oh my God. Oh my God. Se fue para el carajo, papá. Okay, I tell you the story. Oh man, the orange beer, man. He had an orange beer. I mean, se perdió. El pobre tipo se perdió. Yo le decía, I would go, G.I., come back. I was still in a corner. You know those picnic benches that had an Orchard Beach? Because my family would take gandules, pasteles, you know, chuleta. They would take all that, you know, to the beach. We were a bunch of hillbillies, you know. And I was quiet in a corner. I wouldn't say a word. But anyway, that was my story of my G.I. Joe that got lost and he ended up in the Bahamas. Somewhere, I think it was Nassau, you know, Nassau, the Bahamas, you know. Se jodió Joe. So anyway, guys, we're going to go back to the Patek Philippe again. The grand complications, split seconds, chronograph, white gold, green dial, green strap. It's un relosazo, you know. I think it's the 5204. The 5204. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the retail price is $381,000. You got to be, Papa, you have to be a Moby Dick to get this watch. But this is how bad, you know, grand complications watches of Patek Philippe are. This is how bad there is. This watch, ladies and gentlemen, this watch is $400,000. This watch is brand new, brand new. You have to be a whale, a Moby Dick. You have to be, you know, I'm telling you, you put that thing on your hand, papi, eso es un baja panty. Ese reloj es un baja panty, you know? You're driving in your car in Union City in New Jersey, and you have that watch on, las niñas gritan. Gritan, las niñas. Look at that. He's already saying 190. Christopher's saying $190,000. And he's not far from the truth, ladies and gentlemen. He is not far from the truth. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm stupid like that, here it goes. Don't pay. This is how things are. You do whatever you want. And this is a person that's telling me, look, I just want to wholesale it and get it out of here. And I tell him, Bobby, you know what I told him? Here it goes. And why he dead. Why he dead. And you're talking about one of the most important complication watches, grand complication watches that Patek has. You know, in the middle up here, it has the number, the date, the two numbers over here. You know, like, you know what I'm trying to say? You know, two numbers. It's an unbelievable. And I'm 30 cents. Levitan, okay? Está bien, Levitan, está bien. So, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher said $190,000, and I said he is not far from the truth. And I'm going to tell all of you, ladies and gentlemen, because you need to know the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't pay for that watch. Mr. Donor, welcome to the show, Mr. Donor. Wow, Mr. Donor said 185. So we have a fight going on between Christopher and Mr. Donor. And they're right there. They're right there. Here it goes. Both of them got it. I'm going to give both of you a bell. Don't pay for that watch more than $182,000. You do whatever you want. Stop being lollipop suckers. Stop being crumb bums. You know, stop being window lickers. Stop being sandbags. Stop being cow tippers, possum kickers, tire kickers, Palmolive dish lickers. The watch market is dead. Get it through your head. You know, and I told them that. I said, I'm going to say that to you. I'm going to tell you that number. I tell them, I'm going to tell you that number. That doesn't mean that I want to buy it. And you know what he told me? He told me in all seriousness, if you were serious about buying it, you gave me the number. But if you would give me that price you just finished telling me, I would sell it to you. Papi, no hay dinero allá afuera. Stop getting spoofed. They're spoofing prices. These are artificial prices. They're getting you with artificial prices, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an FP Journe Octa 40 millimeter. FP Journe Octa. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the truth. Where the truth is truth, you give it. I'm going to tell you something about FP Journe. When you do something correct and you do a good marketing and a good branding or brand, whatever you want to call it, it works. It does work. And you have to give, props to that company, the 1619, I don't know, something to that number, right? These people have dedicated themselves to buy those watches, and every time they buy it, the seller is going to lose $15, $20, $10,000, right? Motorello, FP Journe Octa, 40 millimeter, rose gold, Salmendal. Did you hear it? Salmendal. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. Rose gold with a leather strap, ladies and gentlemen. And they're asking for this watch out there $260,000. They're asking for this watch $249,000. It's a beautiful watch. And again, when the marketing is done, this is going to shock you when I say this to you. But they're doing a better marketing with these watches with FP Journe. If you guys haven't heard this, you're going to hear it today from me, because I don't frog around. I don't frog around. I say it like it is, the way I see it. And if I have to, congratulate and give props to a person, I will. Even if you have rotten teeth, I will give it to you. Even if you have rotten teeth, I'm going to give it to you. There you go. Listen to what he just wrote down. He went to their flagship store in New York, and they had over 25. He put it there, over 25 FP Journe. That's respect. Because if you go with a watch and you say, you know what? I bought this watch for $300,000. I want to get rid of it. They're probably going to come up and tell you, look, I'm going to give you $245,000, $250,000, right? Let's say $250,000, $150,000. These people have controlled the market, and you have to respect that. You have to respect that. And I'm telling you this so you guys, from everybody else, because I can say Patek, I can say AP, I can say Richard Mille. I mean, these people have and they don't play around. They're you gotta respect the owl, man. Respect the owl, the Bohemian Grove. Respect the owl. But I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for that FP Jordan Octa 40 millimeter rose gold salmon dial. The only way. One more thing before I give you the price. If you are gonna buy FP Jordan, you must buy it directly from Wicked. Saludos, Wicked. You got to buy it from Wicked. Let's say Wicked is the owner of the watch. You got to buy it from him. Because once that watch that you want goes to that 16, whatever you call it, say, Julio, they lock it in and they don't care. And they don't care because I know, because I've tried to approach them with a couple of those pieces. And it's very, very, very difficult. Even me telling them who I am and who Sweet Kino is, you know what I'm saying, Grande. You know what I'm saying. So, if you want to buy those watches, try to buy it from, somebody that has it directly, because once it goes to them, say, Julio, don't pay for that FP Jordan Octa 40 millimeter rose gold salmon dial from 2023 with a leather strap. Don't pay for that watch more than $212,000. That's what I got to tell you. Don't worry about it. We don't need you to buy it. We don't need you to buy it, but we got to give you what it is. Exactly. They don't. Thank you for saying it, Christopher, because they don't understand me. But you're Christopher. Everything you're saying is true, but you have to respect what they're doing. They're not. If they have a Ferrari Enzo, Ferrari Enzo just sold for 17.9 is sold. This car cost $664,000 in the year 2004. 664. In the year 2004, the Enzo Ferrari, and I know about this. I know. I put my hand in el fuego. I put my hand on fire. In 2004, $664,000. The car that sold was a yellow one. It was signed by Enzo, yellow, monster yellow, beautiful banana yellow, and it sold for $17.9 million. But they held on to the price, papi. Insanity. Yes, Shelton, right? Coño, tú estás claro. Tú estás claro, Thurston. Tú estás claro. So just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you one more watch market update. And ladies and gentlemen, it's an H Muser. The H Muser, Alex, is sold in 2004, the Enzo Ferrari, for $664,000. I thought my friend was crazy. He got the orange, the orange color, with the black and orange stitching in his car. He paid $664,000. And he got rid of it like a lambong because he saw a couple of million there and he got rid of it. But the guy that made the big money was the yellow one with the Enzo sign and everything, 17.9. H. Muser. H. Muser, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful, beautiful. Rose gold. Reference number 32000903. Muser and Chai, the pioneer, ladies and gentlemen. The pioneer. It's a beautiful watch. Beautiful. Blue, so blue midnight fume, midnight fume dial. Beautiful watch. I'm going to say this to you guys, and I'll keep on telling you, when I'm a believer on a watch brand, I'm not trying to pump it on anybody or, make it big. But let me tell you, man, H. Muser, man, their watches, their craftsmanship, their dials, and the pricing on their watches, they say $100,000 and you can probably pay for the watch, $45, rose gold, tourbillon. It's crazy. So look into H Moser. Look into them, look into them because it's crazy. And I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for this beautiful watch, 42.8 millimeter with a 72-hour power reserve. Beautiful, beautiful watch, ladies and gentlemen. Has a rubber strap, and I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. The price is under retail. The what I'm gonna give you. Don't pay for that watch more than $11,300. Is rose gold. Beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. I'm gonna tell all of you before we signed off, like Walter Cronkite would say. Do you think that Bitcoin will go under $60,000? And if it goes to $50,000, are you still a believer? Are you buying the dip? Where's Mick? Mick, South Florida. Mick, Mick, where's Mick at? Where's Mick at? Is it gonna go under 60? Is it gonna reach the number $50,000? Are you a true believer? And are you gonna buy the dip? Let me see those hands. Show me the owl. No way, no way. Alex said, no way, no way. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you think 16 I'm holding? Wow. My base is 16. Okay. Not me. It's going to 45. Under 78 silver. I just wanted to know, feel you guys out. I like what you guys just finished telling me. I like that very, very much. I think there's something is about to blow up with Bitcoin. Something is about to blow up with Bitcoin. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm asking you that question, and you might be saying to yourself, well, Netflix is at 80. Wow. Exactly. It's not digital gold. Correct. Pete. Bien, papi. It's going to zero. I was waiting for that. Who's that again? Walter Maldonado. Papi, I didn't want to say that, but Walter Maldonado said it. Wow. Buy the dip. Christopher saying buy the dip is going to go to 150,000. But Maldonado says something which I've been reading on that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna agree with Mr. Maldonado. I think this is gonna go. I think the government is gonna have to take over Bitcoin. Like Apple. Like Apple, Apple phones, computers. Well, there it is. Even Mr. Donner is saying at some point. So I don't know. I'm saying that. I'm just. Nobody wants Bitcoin except Las Vegas. Wow. So then you guys are on top of the game. Guys. I just because and this is my last thing now. So I was saying that to you. Do you think it's gonna go under 60 or 50? Christopher has some good ideas. Maldonado has some good ideas. Mr. Donut. Everybody else has great ideas, In 22, it went up to 60,000 down, and 12,000 back over 100,000 last year. Up, down was representative for Mr. Blair is back in the game. The last 15. Wow, okay. So here it goes. I'm a big fan of these people. I like to study them, and I'm talking about that guy, with the horns. The guy with the horns, because if he bought the dip when it went down to 63,800, and this is going to continue going down, he's going to sell it out, sell him out. He's going to do again another wealth transfer again. Mr. Lawrence. You know it. There you go, coño. Mr. Blair se encojonó. Mr. Blair se encojonó, está encojonado. Mr. Blair is mad. Mr. Blair is for reason on fire. He said it. Mr. Blair is mad. Something is up, ladies and gentlemen. He's selling his puts. I'm telling you, so I'm letting you know something so you guys won't fall asleep. Something is going on. Something is going on, and they're not. This is not. This is not digital gold. This is not digital gold, Bobby. Yes, thunder lightning coming. Anyway, guys, we cover a lot today. I really hope you enjoy this Watch Market Update show and you learn something. I know I learned a lot from you guys because I learned a lot from you guys. Mr. Maldonado said 0 Bitcoin. Mr. Donut said 0 Bitcoin. Mr. Christopher said 60 buy, go all the way up to 150,000. So, I'm learning from you guys, but I'm going to tell all of you to keep your eyes wide open and listen to what Mr. Fink has to say. What Mr. Fink, Fink Larry has to say. That's all I got to tell you. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all your cooperation, for helping this channel continue growing. On behalf of me and Sweet Kikino, we would like to say to all of you, take care and brush your hair. Good night, guys. Gracias por todo. Un abrazo y un besote a todos. Tutti lo quiero. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye, Mr. Thurston Howell. Bye-bye, Mr. Donut. Bye-bye, Christopher. Bye-bye, 30 West Mike. Bye-bye, Maldonado. Bye-bye, Wicked. Bye-bye, all of you. Lo quiero mucho. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye now.